The National Sales Academy was created because I'm self-taught, me. Yeah? I didn't merely go to school, merely. I did a lot of messing about. I had a fantastic time, by the way. I don't regret any of it. But the reality of that is that I am self-taught. And if you put us under sales have never ever been recognised in the UK as a profession. Martin was, all these other great sectors were. And yet sales is the lifeblood of everybody's business. And nobody could be recognised in that profession. Well, it's now recognised as a profession in its own right, which is absolutely fantastic, which I'll explain to you in a minute. So that's when I started channeling my energy, okay? What I did when I started 12 months ago, and I've only been in this business 12 months, this is a young business, what I did is, and it's been a bit of a fast track to education, so I'm not going to bore you with it, but what I did is, I uncovered that there was a pot of funding available for people over the age of 25 that was going to disappear because obviously all the government rules change every now and then. And I decided that I'd knock on the door of employees that I've worked with and ask them if they would like to give their salespeople 25 to 60 odd an opportunity to be one of the first people in the UK to go onto a work-based learning qualification in sales, because would they like to be recognised as an individual? And actually over 700 people said yes we would, for a couple of reasons if I'm honest with you. One was because they wanted that personal recognition, but two is they also wanted to help young people and give them energy to come into a career of sales, because not everybody wants to go to university. Not everybody wants to go to college. Some people just want a job with the potential of earning a good money and owning their own home and buying their own car. And this was one route for those people to do that. So we are successfully helping young people in our community, hundreds of young people, get apprenticeships for the right reasons in the right careers, not just sales. So that gives you an idea. However, that was the beginning of this journey. And I am not into politics. I have absolutely never voted in my life. And I have no intention of. And I'm not a clever woman at all. You get what you see with me. On a good day, it's a great day. On a hormone day, it's a shocking day. Yeah? But the reality of that is I looked out there in the market and I've engaged with employers all my life, and I relate to one because I am one. And I couldn't understand why people weren't getting into work, because the employers that I engaged with were telling me that they've got jobs for people. Yeah? And don't get me wrong, I know there's certain people that don't want to work, but you people have come here this morning off your own back because you do. Yeah? And I'm here to tell every one of you, and you see, I never go off and do a PowerPoint. I'm here to tell every one of you here today. Yeah, and I want you to go home and I want you to tell your family and your friends, we are genuinely here to help you. When I looked at what was happening out there in the UK, I decided I would go and shake things up. Because I knew there was jobs available, and I knew there was people that wanted to go to work and have a career and have prospects in life. So the short version of that is very simple. I decided to create an initiative, a community initiative. You are the first people in Crewe, Nantwich and Wardle, and anywhere else that anybody's come from that have missed out today, that are attending the first UK community initiative, which is called Back to the Future. That initiative has been created because I believe, and the team around me believe, and there's a lot of good people that believe this, we believe that it all starts at home. And it's the old-fashioned way, if you like. It's about creating local jobs for local people. And to me, the only way out of this mess, if you want to call it a mess, with this economy is if you get those two things right, if employers engage and local people want to work, you can actually create a local sustainable economy across the UK. And that is my intention, to do that. But I am starting from home to help each and every one of you. And that's my promise and my commitment to you and your families today. What is Back to the Future? What is it? Okay, I'm sure there are people here today, and it'd be interesting to see how many people have been on work programmes or employability programmes. Yeah, okay. Well, let me give you a bit of confidence here, really. We took a lot of time to look at what's out there in the market. Yeah. And yes, the Back to the Future initiative does include the normal and employability skills within it. It has to. It has to. However, this is absolutely unique in the UK, I promise you this. We've included what we would term as a workshop for universal credit, because none of us know what it really is, and I'm sure the ladies from JCP will give everybody an insight into that, but people need to be aware of that, we all do. We've also included within this initiative a customer services level 1. Now, I know that my friend over there that's a builder's thinking, what the bloody hell do I want to do a customer service level 1 for? The reality of it is, we're all buyers or sellers. It's a good accreditation, it's part of a programme, and it's a value to everybody in my book. It's really good, it's just good foundations. But what we are doing through this programme is, at the end of it, you're going to have a real job. Yeah? Which I'm going to explain to you all in a minute. I'm not sitting here promising you anything except I can promise you this. We have gone out, and I mean we, my team, and like I say, we're a small business, we've gone out and we've found 88 jobs in Crewe, Nantwich, Burslem and Newcastle. For people in this room and people that you might know. And these people want to employ people, they want to interview you, and hopefully you'll then get a job. And that changes the direction of your life. That's what this programme is all about. The job offerings that we have will be full-time. All of the 88 jobs are full-time. We will have part-time because some people's circumstances will only allow that to happen. And over the next few months we are going to be introducing home working, because not everybody has the choice that we can all make today by coming here. So we're not discriminating anybody, we want to give everybody an opportunity to have that choice to work again. What I'm hoping that our programme will give everybody here today is belief in yourself. Yeah? This isn't about CV writing. This is about believing in yourself. Yeah? We all need hope. We all need people to believe in us. I'm really hoping that you all get this out of attending our programme if you choose to come on it, because it's your choice. This is about communication skills, because that's really important. So we've included workshops on communication skills. Interview skills, and very importantly telephone interview skills, because a lot of jobs today, before you can get through the door, you've got to have a telephone interview.
Yeah, I've got one tomorrow morning.
Have you? Well, come and talk to us after if you like. Yeah?
Okay.
So that's really important. It's not just about face-to-face, it's about telephone skills and how you present. But what we have done here, we are going to give the people that go through our programme the opportunity to attend, I'm going to call it, and it sounds a bit cheesy, but I mean this, so, you know, take it as you find me. I'm going to call it a 2-day inspirational workshop. And yes, it is about sales, and it is about customer services. Now, go back to my point earlier that everybody's a buyer or a seller, and as much as anything, it's about motivation, believing in yourself. And the gentleman at the back over there has 2 names. His name is Mr. Steve Hyde, or Mr. Steve Jekyll, right? And the reason for that is because that gentleman is one of the most genuine people that you would ever be fortunate to meet on this planet. And Steve's background, which he can tell you all about if you attend our meeting, and I'm sure he'd tell you anyway after, because he loves talking, he's from Birmingham, what more can I say? But Steve's background was, he was one of the top sales directors at BT, and he chose to leave that world for all the reasons he wanted to. But Steve also is a pastor, and he's got a congregation of 300 people, and he's one of the most motivating and inspiring people that I've had the pleasure to meet in my 50 years. And Steve is one of the professional people that are going to be running this 2-day event, because he genuinely wants to help you get into work again. To actually gift you that is from us to you. Because if you went out there, you know what these training folk are like, they charge you bloody fortune, but actually if you were to employ a Steve or anything like that, or be in work and go on one of these types of courses, it would cost about £2,500, which is a lot of money. And actually at the end of that, what we're going to give and we want to give is we will give everybody a reference that's attended the career opportunities. Now, first of all, I'm going to say thanks again to the team, because they've worked so hard to make this happen. We've got a mixture of roles. I've been talking about sales, I've been talking about customer services, okay? The reality of it is, we've got one of the best employer engagement networks in the UK, because we go and find the jobs for you first before we invite you here, right? So we're doers. And because we're doers, we have jobs in warehousing, we have cleaning jobs. If you want to be a builder, yeah? If you want to be a builder, come and talk to us and we will try and help you find that right job if we've not got it. This programme is the beginning of something, not the end of something. We're here to stay, yeah? We're here to stay. So we have got 88 live jobs in a radius of a few miles here that hopefully will be able to give you people the opportunity to get back into. This is Mike Walsh, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I want to say a few words and then I'm going to let Mike say a few words, because he's kindly come out of his day today to talk to you. But this is what I'd like you to hear from me. Mike Walsh and Steve Walsh own an established business in Crewe called Easy Talk. And we are very, very fortunate that we have people in our community that have great businesses, that want to grow them, and all they want is to recruit good people into their business. Over the past few months, Mike has actually engaged with ourselves, and there might even be relatives in here, but Mike has taken on some young people to give them an opportunity to have a career in sales. And I'll let Mike tell you about those people. And Mike is growing his business because we've got this initiative, and as a valued employer to this community, he is helping us to recruit because he wants to retain good people in his company. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we will get out of this mess. You start at home and help those people, the local people. Not only is Mike and his business helping people like you ladies and gentlemen today, but of recent we came across a charity called Beanstalk, and Beanstalk, you may or may not have heard of it. Beanstalk is a national charity that nobody's heard of. Well, I hadn't certainly, and Mike hadn't until a few weeks ago. And Beanstalk, there's 25 primary schools in Crewe, of which 5 of those primary schools have got support to help little kiddies like our Madeline over there with reading difficulties, yeah? And Beanstalk need help, because if we don't help the next generation, I don't know why we're here actually if we don't help the next generation, but if we don't help the next generation, then by the time they come to go to secondary school, for some young people, it's too late. So Mike is gifting, and I'll let him explain it to you, is being involved as well as I and other employees. We are gifting as much as we can, either be it volunteers or monetary value, to get into the schools locally and help the young people, your children and your grandchildren and grandchildren to come, so that they have the same choices that we make while we're on this planet. So I think, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over, and I'll sit down next to this gentleman and walk and speak to you in a minute. Thank you, man.
Thanks for throwing me at the deep end.
Sorry.
Now, as Heather said, as a business, probably when we're saying about Beanstalk, I hadn't heard of them, but I'd probably say to all of you guys, you've probably never heard of EasyTalk, which is a telecoms business, been going for close to 13 years, based in Crewe. What we basically did after dealing with Heather and the Sales Academy is shut an office in Warrington to bring it all to Crewe. We're looking to deal with obviously more local people, more local businesses. I've recently taken on 6 members staff from the Sales Academy, which for me have been brilliant. None of them had sales experience, but for me that's good because we can train them up and make them as we want them to be. But it's then put us in a position where that we're actually now looking to buy a new building, which means vacancies for any one of you guys really, and any other people coming through the Sales Academy. So it's something that we've benefited from. We want to work with people in the Crewe area, we want to work with business in the Crewe area. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to work with us. We want to work again with people locally. So it's as I've said, every time I have any meetings, I can't sing the praises any higher for what they do. And not just me, the staff that I have. I'm not saying this because Heather's here, but the feedback they give and the experience they got is second to none, because they didn't get given the chance elsewhere, and they've tried various different routes to get jobs and whatnot and failed. Went to the Sales Academy and they've got 6 new starters with a drop of a hat, with the view that, again, I'm taking on, well, could be say 5 in the next coming months, probably another 5 after that. And like I say, we're looking at buying a building which we need to fill, so plenty of opportunity.
A few weeks ago I was invited to HMS Prison in Risley, and I was invited along, a friend and I, a very special friend and I, were invited along to go and meet the inmates there. And the reason that we're invited along is because they're looking potentially for us to help the inmates that when they come out of prison to find work, because we all deserve hope and an opportunity, and I hope everybody in this room shares that with me actually. But I want to explain to you the experience that I had, and I'll try to explain it. As we walked through the prison gates, I've never been, I don't know if anybody here has been in prison or visited a prison. I did take my sleeping bag just in case they kept me here, but they did let me know. So, but it was like being transported into a different planet. It was very, very alien for me, for me and Rob actually, very, very alien. And as we got to the wing, I don't know what my expectations were. I don't think I had any, because I've got nothing to compare it with. And part of the reason that we were invited to the prison is because there was 2 initiatives, but the funding of course has disappeared again, so there's only one, which is Risley. And what they've done in the prison is they've created a community within HMS Risley. And that community is amazing. It's actually being sponsored by the governor through their own budgets at the moment, because the fundings are disappearing. I hope they find funding to continue this. Rob and I walked through the door into this room where 20 men sat. 20 big fellas, yeah. And I can honestly say that it was the most inspiring moment, or one of the most inspiring moments. Actually being at the birth of my granddaughter and my grandson was absolutely amazing. So one of the most inspiring moments of my life, to actually be introduced to these 20 men. Amazing. I have never in my life felt such spiritual energy that I received from those gentlemen that sat in that room, and they were all in there for different reasons. from 20 odd years of age to 60 odd years of age. But you could feel the spiritual energy that absolutely came into that room through these guys. What they've done differently is they are providing these gentlemen with the opportunity to channel all of their energy in a positive way, looking at their future. So I'm into meditation. I'm one of them nutters that gets up at 4:30 every morning and meditate. Yeah, love it. I also like a pint of beer, by the way, but that's different. But they meditate 2 or 3 times a day. They do yoga with Indian gurus. They're having all this positive energy put into them, which is absolutely awesome, actually. And at the end of this session, one of the guys has to contribute something to the morning session, but that session went on for 5 hours because we didn't want to leave. And I asked this young man if he would give me the consent that I could share his poem that he wrote with the people that I meet in my life, because when he read it, I was dumbfounded. What a gift, what a way of thinking, because we all need hope. We all need to look forward to the future. These guys are serving their time. Yeah, somebody once told me that you end up in prison either through a habit or an event. It can happen to anybody. So I'm going to try and share this poem with you before I finish this presentation today. Now, this young man, when he gifted it to me, he did a rap. I am not a rapper. Yeah? I tend to start going into rapping because I start feeling the emotions I did the day that I heard it. So if I go off on one, you'll just have to bear with me, I apologise. But let's begin. This is called My Inspiration. I know I'm going to go off in a rap, or some form of that. Forgive me. My inspiration is my son, and words put together lyrically. I want to change my mind's concept and take hold of my life physically. Before my child grows up and starts to mimic me, I want him to look back at the family tree and instead of being disappointed, be inspired and proud of his history. It seems in life you're constantly battling an uphill struggling, because for every action there's a reaction, which in turn creates different pieces of a puzzle that you're constantly juggling. When it comes to my life, and me you can't say I haven't put the work in. Inside of me there's a fire 1,000 degrees and it's constantly burning. Life goes round in a circle like a wheel that's constantly turning. And when life's at its best, problems start occurring. Therefore I turn and walk away, my past I am deserting. At my mum's grave I saw my future, so bright I am certain. No more secrets that be lurking. Pain-free I'll be, so for me I see no never be hurting. But now it's time to believe and achieve. Take both hands and grasp your dream and realise your full potential. Go into the world, be proud, hold your head high, and in a good way be influential. So it's my son and my lyrics that inspire me. I feel it burning in my soul inside of me. I might be in jail, but my mind is free. I should pay homage to the one God Almighty. So my peers, as you sit beside me, only you can choose once released what path you take back to society. I thought that was very, very inspiring.